What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. It is the 9th day of December, and here we are at $90,000 with 9 hours left in the day. There's a bunch of nines out there. Hit that like button, subscribe. Let's get into it. Okay, here we are, $90,300. Bit of a neutral day. You know, I've noticed. I took the the Tuesday from over here, and then I went through and I looked at every subsequent Tuesday after that, and it's pretty 50-50. But since probably about here, we had red, 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 green, red, green. Tuesdays since October have been pretty bad to us. So if today's red, if we close like this is actually not that bad, and it's somewhat to be expected. Tuesdays aren't normally the biggest days, but 9 hours and 3 minutes left. It'd be nice if we had a little bit of a recovery. I am expecting that Bitcoin moves higher one way or another, whether we move lower from here or up from here, or sideways from here, whatever. I do expect that we do have a date with destiny to this target area here. If we don't stop at 101 to $99,000, if we don't stop in this area, we would likely progress higher to this point of resistance here, which also ties in pretty well with these points of support back here, and even a point of support back here, and a point of resistance back here and here, which would be all the way up at about 107K. Maybe as high as 110K. So if we don't stop at 101 to 99K, somewhere in here, we'll probably progress to 107 to 110K, something up here. Okay. And then also I just want to see the fibs real quick. From a high to a low. I mean 101K right there. 106.3 to 109.8. That's basically the same exact range. So yeah, this with the fibs, the golden ratio would be the next target, but for the time being, we are assuming that the next target is the 0.5, something right here, maybe something just above the 382. But even if we do stop here, if we stop at like a higher high here, like we have these higher highs right here, let me delete this, hold on, so it looks better. Like if we made a move like this and came down, I would still think that we work our way up here, and then from there I'm expecting a crash, a break of this trend line, whatever the trend line might be at the time. I think it'll be something like this. We'll break below, and then we'll find support and continue to grow. Everybody's going to say, we broke the trend line, bear market's on. People are going to be celebrating that the bear market's on, and we're probably going to be at higher prices than we are now. And really, it's just going to be a great time to buy, and then we're probably going to launch at that point. That will be the ignition point to seeing prices that are back above 110K. But that might be saved for January. I assume that December, going here into the end of the month, we probably won't be too far away from where we are now. I'm not expecting any kind of voluptuous upside. There's a lot of people in the crypto space right now they're either expecting this by the end of the year or this by the end of the year. I'm thinking we move down, we'll move back up. We move up, we'll move back down. Whatever it might be by the end of the year. We're probably not going to be too far away from this current price, but I would assume a little bit higher nonetheless. Anyways, 1 hour time frame. Looking at this here. The volume's dying off. We're probably going to break out soon. Very weird price action. Very, what we would say, mechanical, non-organic price action. Something's going on here. This is definitely like intentional shifts in the market. BARTs are a perfect visual representation of manipulation, right? It's funny because there are a lot of people out there in the crypto markets who, like myself, believe that the markets are heavily manipulated right now. And they're always manipulated. I understand how it works, right? There's big dogs. I never call for manipulation, right? The price, the trends in the price, the TA, it normally guides us. But what's happened since October 10th, it's all been pure manipulation. Absolutely it has. And it's just funny because I hear people saying, people are whining about manipulation, but really nobody knows what's going on, and that's just the end of it. But it's like, you say that, but then those same people will look at these charts and say, okay, well, this is kind of weird that we're getting so many BARTs. It's weird because it's manipulation. We're not just saying it's manipulation. The writing is on the wall. The writing's on. They're not even hiding it. It's not, and that's because they have bigger things to worry about than people calling out their manipulation. They've got funds they have to pay back, but whoever they are. Anyways, let's move on. Let's stop talking about conspiracy theories. All I'm saying is it's the writing's on the wall, man. The writing is literally on the wall. This whole little segment here, the writing is on the wall. The 1 hour time frame If you get back-to-back BARTs, understand you are in a manipulated environment. Absolutely you are. Whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's your favorite stock, or it's your least favorite meme coin, if you're getting back-to-back BARTs, it's heavily manipulated. Absolutely. There's no questioning it. Anybody who knows technical analysis would agree with that. There's not a single person who would disagree with that. But people who are technical analysts, who know this, are still trying to give crap to people who, like myself, are calling this manipulation. But it's like, how can you not? How can, I mean, it's the writing is on the wall. Anyways, I'm stuck on that thought. Let's move on. 1 hour time frame. The RSI is getting overbought. We're not getting oversold, which is nice to see. Twice we got overbought. We rejected the overbought zone twice, but still we didn't get oversold here. So the RSI, rather neutral, as is the price, but I would assume a bullish posturing here. Same thing with the stochastics. I'd probably assume a bullish posturing. And then the MACD, it's not going to be as helpful because it's on the 1 hour time frame. And then we've been so choppy, but it does look more bullish than bearish, to be completely fair. All bullishly implied indicators, I'm thinking we move up. 1 hour time frame, probably not long from now. We're at $90,600 now. We've already moved up a little bit since I started this video. Or by the time you watch this, whoever you are out there, it's probably going to be at a higher price. Hit the like button if it's at a higher price. If it's not at a higher price, well, it was fun knowing you. I'll probably never see you again. No, that's hopefully that's not what happens. Hopefully we can still be friends. The 4 hour RSI is looking weird as well. Very neutral. But I would assume from here, again, a bullish posturing. Just because you have higher lows, you did technically get into the overbought zone while rejecting the oversold zone. But I would say that's a rejection of the overbought, rejection of the oversold, truly neutral and volatile. And we're just waiting to pick a side. I think here, because we're finding support at the 50, there's some bullish implications. So make your way up to the overbought area. On the 4 hour time frame, that would then express potentially a move up that's above 92K by the end of today, the 9th, or sometime very early tomorrow. That'd be my expectation. The MACD does look bullish here. Yes, finding support at the 0, looking like you want to cross. I mean, these oscillators kind of have this bullish trend leading up here, so that's nice to see as well. These stochastics are definitely bullish, bouncing off the 50 here, reaching for the overbought zone. I would very much assume that. I mean, we just keep moving up. The move's happening right now, so that's great. Daily time frame, RSI, obviously it's overall bearish. So you're getting oversold, you're rejecting here, you're not getting even above the 60 in recent days, but there are some bullish implications because we've broken out of the downtrend. Lower highs, lower lows, we broke out of that. We've got higher lows and higher highs here now. We are still below the 50, but if we can pierce above the 50 and really just get above this high and continue this trend, getting to the 60 is going to be nice, but it's when we get into the overbought zone that the real magic will start to happen. And I would assume if we can get into the overbought zone on the daily RSI, I would assume that we don't stop here. It depends on how it all happens. You know, if we get just a little bit up there, if it's like a quick rejection, okay, maybe that's exactly where we stop. But I would think a stop here would probably reflect a rejection off the overbought zone, whereas getting into it would result in piercing through this area. So we want to get into the overbought zone. We want to invalidate this resistance area and actually build higher. Because if we do build higher, what is very easily perceived resistance right here, where you have support before, support right there, support in this area as well, resistance right there, you know, support right there, literally it's such a key area, this 100K area, 99 to 101K area. If we break above that, then the statistical probability of pulling back to find support on it goes up a lot, and that would be phenomenal. Versus finding resistance, coming down, and what I'm thinking is going to happen, coming down, we've got our higher low trend line here, we break that trend, we reset, and then we try again later. Versus that's going to take a whole long time. It might be the end of January before we get back above 100K. You never know. And I know for some people that sounds too long. It sounds like it's taking too long, but again, this long, drawn-out process to recover is all derived strictly from this low point in the RSI, where every single time this cycle and past cycles, except for like one time, I think there was one time this cycle where it didn't happen. There was once where we hit this and the price V-shape recovered and we moved up immediately. But every other time this cycle, and even last cycle, whenever you hit this low level in the RSI, the price for Bitcoin typically does not move too far one way or the other for about a month to 2 months. So if I'm assuming that we move up here, the assumption would then be that over the coming days and weeks we probably move back down, because we're probably going to be range bound until late December at the very earliest, or even late January at the very latest. So it really could be January before we're consistently staying above 100K again, if this this scenario plays out the way that I think it will. But we'll see. Time will tell. That's why, again, I want to see the RSI get into the overbought zone. I want to be proven wrong. If we can get into the overbought zone, I think that we would break above that and stand to turn this area as a point of support rather than a point of resistance, right? Stochastics look good. RSI has bullish implications. The MACD has bullish implications as well. When I say bullish implications, that's a nice way of saying the RSI and the MACD both suck. They're both bearish, but there are some things, relatively speaking, that suggest we will continue moving up in the more immediate days. The stochastics is definitely bullish, so I'm running with that idea that we move up higher until we get to this $101,000 to $99,000 level. Then we'll reevaluate from there. I've got nothing else. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit the like button, please. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.